Hello, and welcome back to one of my quarantine talks. Um, Today, I'd like to talk about your moods, your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings, and how they all interconnect to create either a more stabilized mood or a less stabilized mood, and ways that you can kind of try to optimize that balance. There'll be a little bit of a psychology lesson here. I'll try to make it interesting. I've always found psychology interesting, so it's pretty interesting to me. But you might not find it that interesting. Um, One theory in psychology is cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and it's been around a while. Founded or started by Aaron T. Beck, and the theory has this basic premise of so shall you think, so shall you feel, right? That we oftentimes have thoughts that sometimes we're kind of unaware of them. They call them automatic thoughts. They happen so quickly, sometimes we don't even notice we're thinking them. And sometimes they're perfectly fine and normal, or normal is kind of a weird word, but they're perfectly acceptable. They're not problematic. And other times they can be a little distorted. And around anxiety in particular, you oftentimes will go down the what if rabbit hole. And the what ifs, the what ifs, the what ifs. And sometimes the what ifs can be realistically bad. You know, like what if I go to that big party and get sick? That would be something right now that you wouldn't do. I wouldn't advise it, and it wouldn't be a distorted thought, right? We call those what ifs catastrophizing when they are distorted. So if you're what ifing something that's really not realistic and very unlikely, then you can label that as catastrophizing. This isn't positive thinking, and it's not a good vibes only thing. I don't like the good vibes only thing. I think that the world has bad vibes, and every coin has two sides. As Alan Watts would say, you can't have the wave without the trough. So good vibes, you can't tell what a good vibe is unless you know what a bad vibe is. So I'm on a tangent on bad vibes and good vibes, but I tell you, I don't like good vibes only. So with catastrophizing, when you notice yourself kind of going down a very negative rabbit hole without a lot of evidence to support it, you can say to yourself, hey, I think I'm catastrophizing here, which can be very relieving just in itself. And this is the point where you can, have a little bit of an internal argument. You can talk to yourself. Is that really what's going on? When I'm talking to clients, I tell them, what do you think I would have said there? And that's one of the things I'll do in sessions is kind of go back and forth with people and try to come up with a more balanced way of reacting to whatever information you've just been given. So with that in mind, this dovetails nicely with the walk, which I'll mention, or I'll link to the walk after this video. A contemplative walk. And the idea is the walk kind of gets you used to noticing your thoughts, right? And then as we notice our thoughts, we can start to see which ones are realistic and useful and which ones are kind of distorted and harmful. And with that knowledge, you can kind of then begin to shape a better internal reality. Viktor Frankl, he said, Viktor Frankl wrote Man's Search for Meaning, and he was a Holocaust survivor. And he would say that, anything can happen to you, all kinds of horrible things, and horrible things did happen to him and people around him. But the one thing that no one and no circumstance can ever take away from you is how you react to it. And so in these difficult, trying times, controlling and understanding your reaction and having a more adaptive reaction is really in all of our best interests. And so hopefully with some of these tools I'm mentioning, that would be the goal, is that with these this expanding toolbox of ideas and techniques, that we can all have a little bit better outcome from all of this. So I hope that was useful. And if you liked it, then go ahead and click over to the walking video, or subscribe, or any of that nonsense. And if you didn't like it, then don't subscribe. It's all right. All right. Thanks for watching again, and stay strong, and I'll see you next time.